Hi, it's good to see you again this month. We are on the heels of some huge news. Site C Dam has awarded the main civil works contract for the project. It's a $1.5 billion project or contract. It's the largest contract that BC Hydro has ever awarded. And of course, Site C Dam is currently the largest infrastructure project going on in Canada right now. Just to give you guys some idea as to the scale, about a couple of weeks ago, I was looking at my Facebook news feed, and Prince George was promoting the idea of investing in their town, and what they were saying is that since 2012, over $250 million has been invested in Prince George in projects and so on. So if you think of this one project, a $1.5 billion contract, which is part of a $9 billion project, gives you a bit of an idea as to the scale of the money that's pouring into this region. It was a local company that was awarded the contract, and it is going to be a huge shot in the arm for Fort St. John. So if you were kind of looking into the area but would like to really look more now that this has happened here, please feel free to give me a shout. Of course, with the inflow of workers comes inflow of families and the need for more infrastructure. This is reflected by a few new schools that are needed in Fort St. John, and they're actually going to be building a couple of them, which is bringing in a lot of teachers. It's bringing in a lot of construction workers, and of course there's administrative staff as well once things get up and running. This month there was a great article on that, and I'll take a little quote from that. They have the school district treasurer that says it's one of those things that's very difficult to predict in terms of incoming students because there's Site C and anticipation regarding LNG projects. There seems to be a lot of activity, and it's bringing people here. So again, very excited here for the Northeast, and especially for the Site C news. A lot of people have asked me here in the last month what I think about the new Liberal government in power and what's it going to mean for LNG in BC. A couple of things and a couple of great articles as information slowly gets released as to what Liberals plan to do. Number one, a great article that just came out. The Liberals will not reverse the decision to allow the LNG projects to accelerate their capital cost allowances. So they're able to write off their projects faster and be more profitable, and the Liberals are going to leave that on the table. So great news for those projects. And the second thing, and I think it requires some clarity right now, he has come out and said that he is not, Justin Trudeau has come out and said he's not in favor of oil tanker traffic in the northwest coast. This is not to be confused with natural gas. He certainly is in favor of having some LNG traffic up there, and another great article on that this month. I believe that the government will not be an obstacle to positive final investment decisions moving forward. Seeing the growth ahead, TransCanada plans to invest about $570 million in pipeline infrastructure based on the growth that they foresee in Northeast BC and Northwestern Alberta in the gas market. So even in these times when things are a little bit tighter, certainly on the energy prices, there are areas in and around the region that are still pretty economical to drill, and you're still seeing investment. As you remember from last month as well, with the Sunrise natural gas plant, the largest gas plant being built in 3 decades, that's going to be built south of Dawson Creek. And last but not least, an update on LNG and what's the latest there. I'm going to focus today on LNG Canada, which is led by Shell. A big part of the reason is a lot of people are asking, of course, what the lower oil and gas prices mean for these LNG projects. There's a great article out of Australia here this month that talks a little bit about where the executives of Shell are in terms of what they're thinking about LNG. And to quote the CFO, he said, "The fundamentals of this market look as robust now as in the past to us." And he was saying that Shell's expectation that global LNG will expand by 5% a year to 2030, only modestly lower than the 8% annual growth they've seen since 2000. So they remain very bullish on the long-term outlooks for LNG, even though there's a little bit of a current excess of supply in the market. Why this is important is because when it comes to make decisions for spending a lot of money on the projects such as the one in Kitimat that's going to take the gas from Northeast BC. You're wanting to make sure that they're still on board. And a couple other great pieces of news this month that demonstrate they probably still are on board and it's business as usual. Last month you may have remembered that LNG Canada leased out 49 units in Kitimat on a 10-year lease. And second of all, the cool piece of news this month is they've just bought some parking lot just at the Terrace Airport near Kitimat. So again, indicators that LNG Canada is moving ahead, and I expect they'll make their decision. Personally believe in the first half of 2016, but Shell said in 2016 they're planning on getting to a final investment decision. So exciting times up in the north. Can't believe that the contract has already been awarded for the main civil works contract for Site C. I thought it was going to come a little bit later, actually next month. So wonderful news there. We're heading up this Saturday, the 28th of November, to Fort St. John. If anyone would like to come along with us, that'd be fantastic. We'd love to have you. And as always, I look forward to seeing you next month.